Is it too late to invest in crypto? Should you start preparing for a nasty market downturn? What am I going to be doing with my portfolio moving forward? And also, what are 3 cryptos you could look at that are currently bucking the downtrend in the market? Now, if you've been paying attention, the markets have been getting hammered recently. Bitcoin is down, volatility is up, institutions are flooding into the dollar as that thing continues to climb, and hedge funds are doing the same thing. Virtually all of your favorite cryptos are struggling to stay above water. And I would argue that's due to the general market environment, right? So first we're going to start with Bitcoin. I'm going to hop on over here to the chart and we're going to go to Bitcoin. So as you can see here, we had our previous all-time high at $73,750. And not only did we fail to break out, multiple times thereafter, we actually broke down and actually had an inverse head and shoulders. Here's your shoulder, here's your head. You could argue here's your next shoulder, although it's not complete at the neckline. With a breakout. Then we failed to break out another time and a 5th time. So after this 5th time of consistent sell pressure and being sold off at 71,600, we actually started to break down. And if I go down to a lower time frame, you'll see that we actually had a nice little trap here on both sides, a decent amount of volatility, a breakdown, breakout, and then a break back down. Now this was obviously a sell-off into the event, okay? The event being inflation, the FOMC meeting, interest rates, and on that same day we broke out, but then failed to break out and started breaking back down and saw what used to be a previous resistance here and here became a support, is now a resistance again. So now we're selling off right here. Okay, and so that's not looking too good. We officially have a new downtrend. In other words, a series of lower lows and lower highs. And so Bitcoin is not only looking weak, but I would argue the general market's going to follow. And so I typically like to look at what's happening with the S&P 500 and the dollar. Well, the dollar is climbing as Bitcoin is dumping, which is typically considered a negative correlation. And that is pretty consistent with what we've known about markets, right? Risk on assets go up, dollar go down. Dollar go up, risk on assets go down. And the reason is people flood into the dollar when they're worried about some volatility, right? Or they have levels of uncertainty. Well, if you look at the S&P 500, the S&P 500's consistently been up. And obviously our previous range high over here at 5,200 was broke. We started reaching new highs. And then we had what I would call an anomaly in this current time. And that's because we've saw a nasty bearish divergence from the RSI. In other words, strength, relative strength is getting weaker and weaker and weaker, yet the price continues to climb. Well, as these pumps get weaker, what typically happens? These breakouts are more prone to a breakdown. And so if I look at this daily time frame here, okay, you're going to notice a couple of things. The first thing is we not only had a major gap up on Wednesday, and that was due to the news of inflation, right? We had a crazy wick with sell pressure back down to the 5,400 range. And then the next day we actually saw a lot of bulls step in, and they failed to break the price above the previous range high on Wednesday. And so we had this, what I would call a hammer. Then we had another one painted for an inside candle the next day on Friday. So you can see here that we've had bulls continuing to step in, but these bulls fail to create new highs. So as they continue to do that, you can see that there's virtually no wick on either of these candles. And so this right here is very prone to break down. Okay, and so that is going to essentially affect the entirety of the crypto market. It's what I would call a divergence of signals. Okay, we're getting mixed signals in the markets. When markets are acting abnormally or erratically, it's typically a time for me to de-risk in the market. In other words, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So overall, I'm bearish in the market right now and have begun selling my crypto positions. However, this is not financial advice and it isn't aimed to influence you. Do as you wish with your portfolio and consult with a registered financial advisor. However, my pulse on the market is rather bearish now after seeing these things. That's the bad news. Now, the good news is that there still may be some opportunities in the crypto markets. So let's go ahead and share them. So first, we're going to mention TON. Okay, while most cryptos have been struggling over the last 3 months, TON continues to rip up over 240% since February, consistently painting new highs and continuing its strong uptrend. Ton is basically an L1 blockchain, as you can see here, developed by Telegram. And Telegram has a really good track record of being consistent to privacy, decentralization, its insanely large user base, trust them, so on and so forth. So for that reason, I would assume that the token is also going to do well. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull that up right now, if I could find it. Okay, so you can see right here, we have Ton consistently printing new highs. It was off its lows. It had a very strong base here in this range from $2 to $2.50. When it broke out, did it break out, consistently putting in new highs, new higher lows, and then we were recently at a new higher high. And so if it breaks below the 740 range, I'd be kind of weary, but in general, it's looking really, really good. The next token is actually kind of a play on the word ton, which is not, okay? And not, it's kind of funny because when you come to the website, it literally says probably nothing. And then when you click through and just kind of wait for this deal to end here as they build anticipation, okay, you can see that they've actually launched. And so you can click on this app, and it's really designed for your phone, okay, but it's basically a tap to earn product that has been consistently onboarding new users. I personally think it's based on the narrative of Ton. That is the reason why Not has done so well. And so if I come down and find Not right here, you can see that this thing's consistently been printing new highs, putting in new higher lows. And if the market recovers slightly, I think it's got room to grow in legs, but in general, it's already up 315%. It's sitting at a $2 billion market cap. This thing has performed relatively well. Now, that doesn't mean it can't dump. It simply means it's been doing well versus the market. And for our final pick, okay, we're gonna get into Ponky. Okay, and so I was just looking at this thing. It's actually a fun little website, but it's basically a Solana meme coin that shares a lot of the same characteristics as Pepe. It's just the monkey version. So they've done a really good job. They're already listed on boatloads of exchanges. They're up a staggering 645% since, well, when was that? Since the low here back in April 2nd. And as you can see here, this trend has just consistently been ripping to the upside and almost ignoring all market fundamentals. It's been ignoring the downtrend in Bitcoin, or better yet, that strong long range that we've been stuck in below $71,000. And so this thing has consistently been climbing, and I think it's something that is worth paying attention to in the future. So that said, in a normal market environment, I'd be tempted to snag these cryptos at a good entry and hold for weeks or sometimes even months. But in the current environment, I'll keep a close eye and a tight stop with less of a desire to hold them if the market continues to worsen. So thanks so much for watching the video. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to learn how to do analysis like this, go ahead and go to bullrunners.com. The link should be down below or somewhere in the bio, and we'll see you on the other side, and we'll teach you exactly how to do that. Thanks so much for watching the video. Look forward to seeing you next time.